Welcome, everyone. You're at the right place at the right time. If you're joining us live tonight on Train Tuesday, welcome. Welcome aboard. So good to have you here with us tonight. If you are watching this on the YouTube channel after the live, welcome. We're so glad you found us on the YouTube channel. And we're going to be talking the last bits of the September new releases. Now, we are at the very end of the month, which means you have until Friday the 30th, which is coming right up, just a few days away, to place your pre orders for everything that we've talked about here on Train Tuesday during the month of September. Let's get started with a few shout outs. Let's see who's joining us here tonight live. We've got Donnie, Bradley, Ronald, Eugene, Jerry, Anthony, Ian, and Ted. We have Derek Glass in the house, and we have Delta 9, Greg, Forever DC 302, Stephen, and Amy Reynolds. I believe that's actually Dave Reynolds, if I remember correctly. And we've got, let's see, Daylight Dave and a few others to join us tonight. We're going to be talking containers. We're going to be talking containers in the Athearn line, and we're going to be talking about both HO and N scale tonight. And a quick preview as to why I was out for the last 2 weeks. I'll have some neat things to share with you. We'll do that later in the show, so stay tuned for that. Let's do another round of shout outs and see who has joined us tonight. Looks like we've got about 77 folks on board right now. We've got Terry. We've got Ken's Back Shop, Eric, Jeff, Matt, Gary, Darren, Mr. Brian Stackpole, Mickey, Dale, Stephen, and Frederick, and Ramsey. So thank you once again for joining us here tonight. So glad to have you on board and talking about Train Tuesday. So again, we're going to be talking containers tonight, and we're doing something a little bit different this month with containers. You've heard me say in the past that containers are not only good for their intended purpose, but they are also great on the layout, sometimes used in an industrial setting, sometimes on a chassis, sometimes on your model railroad freeways. But we're also going to talk about storage containers. You know, a lot of these containers end up as storage containers, and we've got two different types to show you tonight. So let's get started. So here we have the Textainer. Now, both in HO and N scale, we're going to be offering these in two different packages. Now, they come in a package of 3, and there's 2 different 3-packs that you can get. Now, the road numbers for these containers, they're each unique. So you can buy both the 3-packs of the Textainer and not have to worry about a duplicate road number. Now, when we run these, sometimes we will run these road names again. We try not to run the same road numbers. That way, if you missed out on the first one, you can still get the road that's your favorite. However, if you did get the pre-order from the previous run, you can add to your collection and not have to worry about redundant road numbers. So here we have the Textainer. Here's Capital. This is one that you've all seen. Again, this is going to be available in both HO and N. And we'll talk about a little bit about the features of these in a moment. But surely you folks have seen the Capital cars, kind of a striking green and really interesting logo there. Available in 2 packs of 3, both in HO and N. And again, those road numbers are unique to each container. There's not going to be any repeats. Now, I know you guys have seen these. I've seen them. They're all over the place. They stand out, really. They're kind of a striking pink color, and they stand out really well. The Ocean Network Express, relatively new in the last few years. We're offering these both in HO and N scale. And again, these are coming in 2 different separate 3-packs. And again, no worries about duplicate road numbers. So remember, I was saying earlier that you can sometimes use these as storage units. You can use these for, sometimes they've been made into almost like a utility work area. And here's what we've got. We've got the mobile modular. Now, these are actual businesses. We didn't make these up. These are actual places that use containers for storage solutions. Makes perfect sense. Sometimes when these containers are retired, they're kind of refurbished a little bit and they're used as a storage unit. And this is one example. This is one company that is offering these for a suitable storage unit. Again, these are available in both N scale and HO. And I'm looking through the comments briefly. Yeah, some people do make homes into these. There's a whole network of folks that will actually use these and modify them for their living conditions. And it's pretty interesting. Do a YouTube search on that. You'll see some ideas and also give you some ideas for your layout. And finally, the last one, and a really colorful one. This is a company called Herc Rentals. And they are all over. In fact, a brief search tonight, I found one here, not too far from where I'm at in Indianapolis. You can go to their Facebook page and you can see all about it. They rent both 20 and 40-foot containers. Now we're offering the 40-foot containers in both HO and N scale. And like I said, really neat, eye-catching paint scheme, especially with the advertisement on the side. And so these are perfect. You might not put these on in your well cars necessarily. What you do with these is you can put these in a construction site. Many construction sites will put their tools and some of their more expensive equipment inside these while they're working on a job site. You could even put this in somebody's backyard, believe it or not. There's all kinds of uses for these, and you really use your imagination to put these out somewhere on your layout or your module. So again, both HO and N scale, 2 packs. Each pack includes 3 containers, and those containers all have unique numbers. So let's talk about some of the features on these guys. Let's start with the HO scale containers. Obviously, these are fully assembled. You don't have to worry about doing anything to them unless you want to weather them. They're easily stackable. And each container, again, it's individually numbered with new road numbers, no repeats. Now, like the Herc Rentals, these containers represent portable storage containers, which see wide use in construction sites, traveling events, and large industries. The units often move by train or container chassis to their destination, making these ideal as both layout scenery items as well as intermodal loads. So there you have it. This is a really interesting piece to add to your layout, to your module, whatever you have. And think about some of the creative ways you can use this on your layout for any of those things that we've just mentioned, especially you guys with the smaller shelf layouts. Think about incorporating a construction scene and adding one of these to the scene. Now let's talk a little bit about the N scale ones. The N scale ones are going to be very similar. They're going to have a lot of the same features, just obviously a lot smaller. They too are fully assembled and they're easy to stack. And again, they're all going to feature their own road numbers. So you don't have to worry about having duplicate road numbers with these. So there you have it. That is the last of what we've got for September. Now, I don't want to let you guys forget the SD70 ACUs with the military paint schemes. If you haven't purchased one for pre-order yet, you only got a few days left. So go ahead and talk to your dealer today and get that pre-order locked in. I can tell you the first run of these that we did 2 years ago, they came into our warehouse and they went out. If you didn't pre-order one, you were left holding nothing. And I don't think you're going to want that to happen. So go ahead, get that pre-order in before this Friday. Okay, let's see if we got some questions on here, and then we'll go on to some of the other things I've got to share with you tonight. Dale says, I'm loving the N scale. Love Athearn has been doing a lot as of late. Thank you, Athearn. Well, you're welcome, Dale. N scale is making some inroads. They're making some strides, and we definitely want to be a part of that. So we are adding to our N scale. Not just new road names and new paint schemes, but we are adding new items as well. Stay tuned throughout the year. We'll have some more exciting announcements in both HO and N scale. Let's see. BNSF 9708 says they should do a Maersk Pride container again. There's been some developments with that. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that, but if we can, we will. But that's kind of right now we're kind of weighing our options on that. Let's see. Rico says maybe a new product, 35-foot containers and one with extensions to 40-foot. That's a great suggestion. We are working on some new things in the container world, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, if there's a specific size container you would like to see, don't forget to go to our website at athearn.com, select the Contact Us page, and select the Athearn Product Suggestions email. Now, that email goes right to our development staff. They read those, they collect those. They don't always respond to them, so don't expect a response. But we do collect all that data, and that makes our jobs easier by selecting the next project based on how much feedback we get. Let's see what else we've got on comments about the containers before we move on. And Bradley, you're welcome. I try to catch as many comments as possible. We try to keep the program to about 30 minutes, so I don't always catch all of those comments and questions, but I do my best to get that out there for you. Let's see, any other questions or comments out there? All right, looks like we're pretty good here. I don't see any other comments or questions. I'll go down a little bit, see if anything has come up while I was looking back. Robert's got some good information. He says Herc Rentals is part of the Hertz Rental Corporation. Herc stands for Hertz Container Rentals. Hey, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that, John. Thank you for sharing that with myself and the crew tonight. Really do appreciate that. Brian wants to know, will we be doing era-specific containers? Well, we try to. We did some last month that were pretty specific to the early to mid 80s. These are pretty modern. Containers in general are a relatively, I don't want to say modern, but a relatively newer thing in the railroad world. But certainly as time goes on, we'll see some other eras develop, I'm sure. Let's see what else we've got. Ramsey's happy with the Herc containers. Yeah, I think these are going to be really popular. No Canadian ones yet, but stay tuned. All right. Yep, Brian, I understand. We all model different eras, and that's why Athearn tries to do a little bit of everything. Um, we try to make sure that all eras and parts of the country are, or even in some cases, the world are taken care of. So, all right, let's go on to some other stuff. One of the first things I want to remind you of, again, those SD70 ACUs, you have until this Friday, the 30th, to get your pre-order in. Now, these military units are extremely popular, and some folks I know they tend to wait until they get into stock to see, oh, maybe I will pick up one of these. The problem with these military units, however, is last time every single one had a pre-order. They were technically out of stock before they hit our warehouse. That means that every single one was spoken for. So you couldn't just not necessarily go to a hobby shop and find these. You could in some cases, but they're extremely hard to find. So if you don't want to do the Easter egg hunt with these locomotives, just go ahead and talk to your dealer and say, hey, you know what? I'd like to pre-order these military units, or maybe you're interested in one of the Norfolk Southern or one of the lease units that we're doing. First time we're doing those in Prime for Grime. Also, don't forget they've been upgraded, so the roller bearing actually function. They're animated, just like we've done with some other locomotives. So there's been some refinements to these locomotives since the second or first run. Anything else that we've talked about on Train Tuesday this past month for the month of September, you have until Friday the 30th to place those pre-orders. Now, speaking of that, everybody wants to know, will we be having a show on Friday? And you would be correct. Believe it or not, we'll be talking about the October announcements this Friday. That will be here. Watch your social media feed for an announcement, but that'll be taking place this Friday, the 30th at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, or I'm sorry, 3:30 Central Standard Time. And we'll go over the new announcements for the month of October. It's kind of a neat day because you have the last few hours to place your pre-orders from the previous month, and you get to see the new stuff and pre-order that for the current month. So it's kind of like a crossover video. Always fun to do, and you're going to want to be sure to tune in for that. Okay. Couple of different questions before I go into the next thing. Jason wants to know, are you going to be doing any more Rock Island anytime soon? I think it's safe to say yes. I'm going to leave it at that. But I think it's safe to say that we're going to be doing more of that. Late Night has a comment. He says those roller bearing caps are nice, but a pain in the rear to get back on when they pop off. So tiny, LOL. Yeah, I can relate with the so tiny. One of the things that I want to, the reason why I brought that question up is when we first started doing that with the ST60Ms, as you know, we had some issues. Now, I want you all to realize that our developers have worked very hard and closely with the factory to ensure that that doesn't happen again. Now, just in case it does, we do put extra roller bearing caps in both the locomotives and the Genesis freight cars that have that feature. But again, with the locomotives, there's been a lot of design work since that first initial run. And we're trying to make it easier for you and easier on your eyes so you don't have to put those back in. Let's see. BNSF 9708 wants to know, I wonder what the October announcements will be. Well, I'm going to break a little bit of, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek, if you will, kind of a hint. There has been one railroad, and you happen to have the name in your ID there, that has been really requested. And it's the earlier part of the BNSF, and I think you guys are going to like it. Just think of early BNSF heritage colors, and I think you're going to like what you see there. Will there be any more ACUs? Yes, there will be more ACUs, and who knows in 2 years what we'll see. Now, I know Norfolk Southern kind of sold off a bunch of theirs. They still have a few on their roster, but who knows where those will go. And don't forget, we still have one more CP locomotive to do, the one that they modeled the Spitfire with D-Day invasion stripes on it. We still have that one that we need to do. So stay tuned for that. It'll probably be a couple of years since we just offered these, but I'm sure you're going to be happy to see what we do next for the SD70 ACUs. Let's see. Looking through there. Frederick's wanting to know if it's an AC 4400. Not yet. Not yet. Probably won't see that this October. Timothy says vomit bonnet. That's a good guess. And talk about early paint schemes. That's a great guess, but I can tell you no, that's not going to be in October. But you're kind of going in the right path. I know BNSF fans are going to be happy. I know Milwaukee Road fans are going to be happy. We've got some great stuff coming for October, so be sure to tune in. Again, that's Friday, 3:30 Central Standard Time. Look on your social media for an announcement, and of course on YouTube, you'll see an announcement for the live. All right, let me transition a little bit here and show you why I was out for a few weeks. I was actually home in New Hampshire. And while I was there, I had the opportunity to show my club, the Concord Model Railroad Club, what we were coming out with. Now, we announced the second run of Dash 9s last year, and it just so happened I had some production samples of the Dash 9s. So, what I did was I contacted the Concord Model Railroad Club president, Mr. John Miner, and I asked him, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to be in the area. I'm going to have these brand new production samples. And can we run them at a layout? And he was nice enough to get in touch with Rich Fifield, who has a beautiful BNSF railway. And so we went ahead and had a quick little operation session. So here you can see these pictures are from the club president, Jonathan Miner. And here's the Dash 9, brand new. And the depending on who you are, some people call this the fake bonnet, other people call it the war bonnet. Whatever you call it, beautiful, beautiful look on the Dash 9. So this is a Dash 9 production model. That means now, if you pre-ordered one of these, you should be getting a call from your dealer. If you did not pre-order one of these and you really like the looks of these Dash 9s, you're going to want to get on the phone with your dealer now. But we had a good time over at Rich's place. He's got a beautiful layout. It's a layout he's been working on since 1981. Now you can see we've got a couple of Dash 9s there. And we also hooked up a GP40-2, the Canadian National that you see there. He's got a rather extensive yard, really neat layout. He's now starting to fabricate his own crossovers and laying a lot of his track the old-fashioned way. It's all hand laid. So he's upgrading that as he goes. And neat scene there with the two Dash 9s and the GP40-2. We even brought our Genesis 57-foot mechanical reefer. There it is on the end of that train that he built to run on the layout. We had a good time. Now, if you want to see Rich's layout and you're in the New England or Canadian area, you'll be in luck. This fall, they have something called Tour de Chouch. It's been going on since 1994, and this is a free self-guided model railroad open house. What that means is if you go to the website, and I'll share that website here in a moment, you get to choose the different layouts in a specific area in the New England region to take a look and see these layouts. So remember that's coming up this fall. And again, I'll share that website with you. Let's see if I can grab that here real quick. Stop that screen there and bring up the website for Tour de Chouch. Here we are. And it's real simple. You see it right there. Just punch in either on your favorite web search, Tour de Chouch, or you can type in the website. It's tourdechouch.org. And I'll scroll through here real briefly. You can see all the different layouts that are featured. And it's a kind of a long weekend. It starts on Friday, November 25th, and it runs until Sunday, November 27th. There's a lot of really nice model railroads here in many different scales, HO, O scale, N scale, and they're throughout Massachusetts and New Hampshire primarily. So if you live in this area and you've never done this, you owe it to yourself to go ahead and see that. You can also see Rich's layout more in detail. These are just a couple of snapshots that we took that night. We had a great time with the Concord Model Railroad Club, having a quick Q&A session, talking about what Athearn's working on, and just a good time to be with the guys, talking about the greatest hobby in the world, and just a fun time. So check that out if you're in the area. Check out these great layouts. And I want to thank the Concord Model Railroad Club for their hospitality and putting up with me for a night, talking about all the cool stuff that we're working on. And we've got a few minutes left, so I want to direct my attention to the comments. If you've got a question about either tonight's models or anything that we've talked about for the month of September, here's your chance. If you've got any questions outside of that about Athearn, feel free to ask. So I'll take a look and see what we've got in the comment section. PNSF 9708. I guess you're going to have to tune in on Friday and see. I see Thomas's comment out there. Yeah, for all you folks in the Florida area with the Hurricane Ian, please be safe. That's never a good thing to go through. So please be safe. Our thoughts, the Athearn crew sends our thoughts to the folks out there preparing for that hurricane. Hopefully everybody is safe. Yes, the Dash 9s that I just showed, those actually hit our distribution center earlier this week, and they started shipping. So if you ordered the Dash 9s, our second run of Dash 9s, your dealer will probably be contacting you before the end of the week. And again, if you didn't pre-order and you want to get on board and get one or two, call your dealer now. You've got a better chance of grabbing one now because they sell out quick. Getting some good comments on those Dash 9s. Yeah, those are really neat models. And they sound good too. If you get one with Tsunami 2, they sound amazing. Chessie MS 8595. I saw your comments just before the show. I saw your comments about the GP40-2. Please go to our website, athearn.com, go to the Contact Us, and select the Help email. If there's something with your locomotive that doesn't look right, you need to get in touch with our service department, and we'd be more than happy to help you with that. Your locomotive is under warranty, so we will stand by that warranty. Give us an email, and like I said, just go to athearn.com, go to the Contact Us page, and send that email. Let them know what locomotive you have, where you bought it, and the issue that you're experiencing with it. One of the caveats of having such detailed models is, as try as we may, we try to do as best we can with our packaging to ensure all those small details stay on board. It doesn't always happen. And when that doesn't happen, those details can get lost. And so whenever that happens to you, please contact us at our service department email. Again, it's listed on the Contact Us page at athearn.com, and let us know. You have a warranty with your locomotive, and we will stand by it for you. All right. Greg says, I understand the Buffalo and Pittsburgh SD60M units are arriving. Yes, they are. They are indeed. If you pre-ordered one of those, you should be a pretty happy person right now because they've already shipped, so your dealer might already have them. Let's see, going back. All of the road names are in. So, Derek, I'm pretty sure you're probably looking for some Norfolk Southern ones, and the Norfolk Southern Dash 9s, these are the first of the American safety cab. So I'm sure you're looking for those. Yes, those are in stock. So definitely be looking for those. Cole's got a little bit of a laundry list here. I'm going to go ahead and put it up there because he took the time to write it all out. He says, hey, Jim, so when the next run with the AC 4400 CW with the NS and BNS and UP and CP and CSX and CN and rebuild units, and also some fantasy paint schemes and Conrail Paint Quality Scheme and BN AC 4400 CW. There's a lot there, Cole. But we appreciate your enthusiasm, and we'd also appreciate it if you used our product suggestion email to forward those through. Now, trust me, the good thing about the AC 4400 is there are so many roads to choose from. So we're probably going to start with the prototypical roads first, and then maybe eventually do some fantasy, or we might do some legendary liveries stuck in the middle somewhere. You never know what we're going to do. But the good news is with that locomotive, plenty of paint schemes to draw from. No, we will not do blue box kits anymore. And there's a simple reason for that. We did a feasibility study just a few years ago, not that long ago. In order for us to do the blue box models that you remember, and they really wouldn't be what you remember because manufacturing has changed that much, even in 25 years. The cost of a kit would actually be more than a standard Athearn model or a ready to roll model. And we just felt that they wouldn't sell well. Um, the days of finding blue box models for $5 are pretty much reserved to the train show and the swap meets. Um, Technology has moved, and so has manufacturing and printing and painting. So that segment is something that we're proud of. We're proud of that heritage, but we've moved on from that. Thomas posting for us says, Athearn support is the best. They rebuilt my big boy with parts, orders now questioned. So, Thomas, thank you the other day too. He mentioned that he had placed some emails to us for some parts that he needed for some locomotives that he was working on, and our guys turned it around. He was really happy. Um, Again, I've said it before, the guy that works on your locomotive, the guy that's answering your email, chances are they're a model railroader as well. Most of us here at Athearn are model railroaders, not all of us, but most of us. And so we enjoy this hobby. We enjoy all aspects of the hobby. So we want to help out our fellow modelers whenever possible. Time for one more question, and I'm going to let you guys go and get busy on your layouts. The days are getting shorter, their nights are getting cooler, which means more layout time. Ramsey, thanks for letting us know. We appreciate that. Let's see what else. One more question. We'll end with this one. Is there any CSX locomotives available? Well, if you mean if there's anything currently available at your dealer from Athearn that's CSX, yes. Now, these are early CSX, so early they still have Chessie paint on them, but they're part of our Prime for Grime. And if you're doing early CSX, these are perfect for you. These are the Genesis GP40-2s, and these are now at dealer shops. So you can kind of get in there, and don't worry, we're always running CSX. CSX is a popular line. All right. Just going back. One more question. Not really a question, but a comment. I hope Athearn will bring back the special edition. Yeah, we will. We'll do those occasionally. We do some collectible stuff now and then. We don't do it quite as often as some may like, but we will do those occasionally. So with that, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. If you're watching the YouTube video, thanks for finding us on YouTube. And anything that we've talked about on tonight's show or previous Train Tuesdays, you want to get to your dealer and place that pre-order. Those SD70 ACUs Oh, they're going to go fast. You want to make sure you pre-order those. And of course, all of the other great things that we've talked about throughout the month of September. Like I said, October's new announcements, they're going to be here before you know it. So after you get your pre-orders in for September, tune in on Friday at 3:30 Central Standard Time and join me to talk about the new announcements for October. BNSF fans, you're not going to be disappointed. That's my one secret for tonight. I will talk to you on Friday. Until next time, everybody, be happy, be healthy, and above all, high greens. Good night, everyone.